All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're doing a deep dive into AI in 2025.
Okay.
We've been digging through a ton of podcast scripts and articles.
Yeah.
All these different sources are painting a picture of what's to come, and it's pretty wild.
Definitely.
So we're going to break it down into 5 key trends that we've noticed, and the
Sure.
first one being generative AI. Then we've got AI-powered personalization,
Right.
AI for social good,
Mm-hmm.
AI and cybersecurity,
Mm-hmm.
and the rise of AI-powered edge devices. So,
Okay, a lot to cover.
a lot to cover, right?
Yeah.
We're talking AI composing symphonies.
Wow.
AI, like knowing what you need before you need it,
Okay.
and maybe even AI helping us solve climate change.
That's exciting. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential there. But it's also important to think about the
Yeah.
the implications of
What's a
these
H?
technologies
Yeah.
as they get more and more powerful.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start with that first one, generative AI. You've probably seen those AI image generators like DALL-E 2. You know, those things where you type in
Yeah.
like a cat wearing a hat, riding a bicycle, and it makes a picture for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in 2025, it's not just images.
Right.
We're talking like really good videos, super realistic 3D models, even original music composed by AI. Think about what this means for creative industries like
Yeah.
movies, video games,
Yeah.
music production, like everything's getting kind of shaken up.
Absolutely. And it's the technology behind it too, like these
Yeah.
generative adversarial networks, these GANs.
Right.
They're like 2 neural networks that are fighting against each other. One generates content, the other one judges it.
Wow.
And they go back and forth until they produce something that is just incredibly realistic. It's the same technology behind those, those deep fakes you've seen.
Yeah.
Like it really is mind-blowing how good it's getting.
So it's not just pushing a button. There's like a lot of smarts going on under the hood.
Right.
So how would this like affect someone in their daily life? Let's say like you're a graphic designer.
Yeah. Well, imagine you're a designer working on a new project.
Yep.
You could sketch out a rough idea,
Okay.
and the AI could instantly generate like tons of variations,
Yeah.
different styles, textures, color palettes.
Wow.
It'd be like having a whole team of
Yeah.
concept artists, working with you,
Right.
helping you to refine your ideas.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's move on to a trend that I think is going to hit a little closer to home for most people.
Sure.
AI-powered personalization. We all know, like, the recommendations you get from Netflix or Spotify or whatever.
Right.
But in 2025, AI is going to be able to predict your needs before you even know what you want.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, your devices are constantly collecting all this data about you.
Correct.
Your sleep patterns, your commute times,
Uh-huh.
all your online activity. AI can take all that data and create a really detailed model of you,
Okay.
of your behaviors and preferences.
Oh.
And then it can personalize everything.
Huh.
Your news feed, shopping recommendations, even your home environment.
So instead of me telling my smart home what to do,
Right.
it's just going to figure it out on its own.
Exactly. It'll be like, you wake up in the morning
Yeah.
and your coffee's already brewed perfectly. The temperature's just right.
Wow.
The lights are adjusted to your mood.
Okay, that sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but also a little creepy, right? Like, how much is it
Yeah.
to watch it?
But that's where it gets tricky. You want personalization to be helpful, but you don't want to feel like you're constantly being monitored.
Yeah.
And what about, algorithmic bias?
Yeah.
If the AI is trained on data that's already biased,
Right.
it's just going to,
Yeah.
reinforce those biases.
Mm.
It could create these like filter bubbles where you're only seeing what the AI thinks you want to see.
Right. Okay, so that's AI-powered personalization.
Mhm.
Moving on to AI for social good. This is where AI is being used to tackle like big global challenges. For example, climate change.
Yeah.
AI can be used to optimize energy grids, make them more
Mhm.
efficient. It can be used to predict
Yeah.
extreme weather events,
Yeah.
like hurricanes or floods.
Yeah, it's like having this like super powered assistant for environmental research. Like imagine an AI that can analyze satellite data
Right.
to track deforestation
Wow.
in real time,
Yeah.
or simulate the impact of different climate policies.
Mm-hmm.
It could give us the information that we need to make better decisions.
Absolutely. And then in healthcare, AI is being used to, diagnose diseases earlier,
Right.
discover new drugs,
Yeah.
personalize treatment plans.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where I think it has the potential to really like directly impact people's lives.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine a world where AI can, like, analyze medical images
Yeah.
and detect cancer cells,
Wow.
like way before a human doctor could even see them,
Right.
or design personalized drug therapies based on, your unique DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the future that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch gears a bit
Sure.
and talk about something that's becoming, more important every day.
Yeah.
AI and cybersecurity. Cyber attacks are getting more and more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah.
So we need some serious help to fight them.
Absolutely. And I think AI is going to be the key.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
AI can analyze huge amounts of network data in real time,
Okay.
looking for, patterns that might indicate an attack.
Right.
It's like having a digital bloodhound,
Okay.
sniffing out these threats before they can even cause any damage.
So instead of just reacting to breaches and stuff, we can
Right.
start predicting and preventing them.
Exactly. And that's a game changer for businesses.
Yeah.
For individuals, for everyone.
Absolutely. Okay, that brings us to our last trend for this part of the deep dive, Edge AI.
Okay.
So what is Edge AI?
Well, it's basically about moving AI processing from the cloud to the edge.
Okay.
So instead of sending data to a remote server to be processed,
Right.
the processing happens right on the device itself.
Oh, I see.
So smartphones, sensors, even industrial equipment, they can all do the thinking themselves.
Okay, so instead of sending your data up to the cloud
Right.
to like Google or Amazon or whatever
Sure, cloud.
or your watch or whatever, just does it right there.
Right there on the device.
So what's the advantage of that?
Well, it's all about speed,
Okay.
privacy, and reliability.
Mm-hmm.
So think about a self-driving car. If it had to rely on cloud processing, to make decisions,
Right.
it would need a constant internet connection.
Yeah.
And even a tiny lag, a little delay
Right.
could be disastrous.
Yeah.
But with Edge AI,
Okay.
the car can make decisions in real time.
Right.
Based on, all the data that it's collecting from the sensors and the cameras.
Right.
Even if it doesn't have internet access.
Wow. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
basically the car's making decisions,
Exactly.
like right there in the moment.
Exactly.
No waiting for the cloud to catch up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Edge AI is all about making devices smarter and more responsive.
Exactly.
So Edge AI is processing info right there on the device, no waiting for the cloud. What kind of impact could this have on different industries?
Well, healthcare is a big one. It's already making waves there.
Yeah.
Imagine wearables like smartwatches, not just, tracking your heart rate,
Right.
but using Edge AI to analyze all that data, like in real time. If it detects something, out of the ordinary, it could alert you and your doctor, like instantly. It could actually save lives.
Wow. So it's not just about convenience anymore. It's like real-time health monitoring
Yeah.
intervention even.
Exactly. And because the data is processed right there on your device,
Uh-huh.
there's less worry about privacy. Your health information, it stays on your device.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then there's industrial automation. Think about factories with robots that have Edge AI built in.
Okay.
They can make decisions instantly to, optimize production lines, identify potential issues before they even happen,
Wow.
all without having to rely on some central server.
So it's making factories like smarter and more efficient,
Right.
but also it's giving those robots like a level of autonomy that they didn't have before.
Yeah, exactly.
What about self-driving cars? I feel like that's kind of the perfect example of where Edge AI is just crucial.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have to process huge amounts of data from sensors and cameras, in real time to navigate safely. Any kind of delay could be, like, really dangerous.
Yeah.
Edge AI lets them react instantly to changing conditions on the road. It makes autonomous driving more reliable and ultimately safer.
You've painted a pretty amazing picture here, but, as with any powerful technology, there are going to be some concerns. What are some things we need to be thinking about as Edge AI becomes, like, more and more common?
Well, data security is a big one.
Okay.
If the processing is happening on the device, that device becomes, a target for hackers. So we need to make sure that we have really, really strong security measures in place
Right.
to protect all that sensitive information that's being processed, at the edge.
It's almost like we're distributing the data, but we're also distributing the responsibility for protecting it.
Right.
What about the impact on jobs? I mean, we've been talking about how AI can automate a lot of tasks, and it seems like edge AI could really speed that up.
It's true that edge AI could, lead to increased automation in some industries,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's about replacing people.
Okay.
I think it's more about, augmenting what people can do
Mm-hmm.
by taking over those repetitive tasks, the dangerous tasks.
Right.
Edge AI can free up people to focus on more creative work,
Yeah.
complex problem solving, the things that humans are really good at.
So it's not machines taking over, it's more like machines and humans working together
Yeah, exactly, like a partnership.
more effectively. Okay, that makes sense. Let's zoom out a bit and talk about some of the ethical considerations with all of these AI advancements.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, algorithmic bias is a huge one. If the data that's used to train these AI systems is biased,
Yeah.
the AI is going to learn those biases. It's
Yeah.
going to make biased decisions. And this could have like really serious implications in things like hiring, lending, even criminal justice.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about the technology itself. It's about, where that data comes from
Right.
and the potential for it to reflect, the biases that already exist in our society.
Yeah.
So how do we fix that?
Yeah.
Well, it starts with, recognizing that there's a problem
Okay.
and then being very intentional about creating data sets that are diverse,
Okay.
that are representative. We also need ways to audit these AI systems,
Mm-hmm.
to check for bias
Yeah.
and to hold the people who are developing these systems accountable.
Yeah.
They need to be creating algorithms that are fair and equitable.
So it's about transparency,
Yeah.
accountability, and making sure that these systems are actually benefiting everyone, not just, a select few.
Exactly.
Okay. So what about privacy?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about data security, but it seems like just the fact that we're using these technologies
Right.
raises new privacy concerns.
It does. AI needs data to function.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
The more data it has, the better it can perform. But as these systems, become more and more integrated into our lives,
Right.
they're collecting data about our habits, our
Mhm.
preferences, even, our emotions. So the question is, who has access to all that data?
Right.
How is it being used?
And is it being used in a way that we've agreed to?
Exactly. That could potentially be harmful.
Yeah.
We need strong privacy regulations that give people control over their own data.
Okay.
Make sure that AI is being used ethically.
So it's not just about protecting our data from hackers.
Right.
It's about making sure it's not being used against us in some way.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the challenges, some of the ethical considerations, but let's not forget about all the amazing things that AI can do.
Oh, yeah. There's so much potential.
What are some of the most exciting things that you see, coming down the pike?
Well, I'm really excited about personalized medicine.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where AI can analyze your genes, your lifestyle, even your environment
Right.
to create a health plan that's made just for you.
Wow.
It could, predict potential health risks like years in advance
Right.
and suggest ways to prevent them to keep you healthy.
That's incredible. Like personalized healthcare on a whole other level.
Yeah, exactly. And what about education?
Yeah.
AI could completely revolutionize how we learn and how we teach.
How so?
Well, we talked about AI tutors before, but I think it goes way beyond that.
Okay.
Imagine systems that can actually track your learning,
Yeah.
identify your strengths and weaknesses,
Okay.
and recommend, learning paths that are tailored to your interests, your goals.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all approach to education anymore. It's much more individualized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes education, more accessible to everyone,
Yeah.
more engaging, more effective.
That's great. I mean, it sounds like the possibilities are really limitless.
They are.
But of course, with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
How do we make sure that we're using AI to actually make the world a better place?
Well, I think it starts with, having these conversations.
Okay.
Open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and the risks of AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't just be the tech experts, the policymakers. It has to involve everyone. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of this technology.
I think that's such an important point. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we choose to use it.
Right.
the values that we build into it.
Exactly.
So what else can we do to make sure that AI is used for good?
Well, we need to invest in research
Mm-hmm.
that's focused on ethical AI. We need to create guidelines, regulations
Okay.
that promote responsible development in use.
Yeah.
And, we need to encourage transparency and accountability in the industry.
So it sounds like a multifaceted challenge, but also like a really incredible opportunity to really make a difference.
It is.
What about the role of government and policymakers in all this?
Well, they have a big role to play, right? They need to create the regulations, the frameworks
Okay.
that encourage innovation, but also protect against the risks.
Mm-hmm.
They also need to invest in education, in training programs,
Right.
so that people are prepared for the changes that AI is going to bring to the job market.
So it's not just about regulating AI, it's about like getting society ready for it, making
No.
sure that everybody benefits.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where AI empowers people.
Yeah.
It doesn't replace them.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift gears a little bit here
Okay.
and talk about the potential impact of AI on creativity and the arts. We talked about generative AI, how it can create images,
Yeah.
music, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But how could it actually influence human creativity in deeper ways?
Well, I think AI has the potential to become like a collaborator in the creative process.
Okay.
So imagine an artist working with an AI system that can understand their style, their influences, even their emotions.
Wow.
And it can help them generate new ideas, explore new directions.
So it's almost like having like a creative muse
Yeah,
that
exactly.
can kind of push you, challenge you.
Right. It's about expanding the possibilities of human creativity,
Yeah.
not replacing it.
Okay, that's a really interesting thought. I've been thinking about something throughout this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
We keep talking about all the things that AI can do.
Right.
It's easy to forget that it's still a tool,
Hmm.
a technology that humans created.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like the future of AI, it depends on us.
Right.
The choices we make, the values that we prioritize.
Yeah. It's not about like surrendering to the machines.
Right.
It's about using our own intelligence,
Yeah.
our values to guide AI
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that it's used to benefit all of humanity.
So recognizing the power of the technology, but also remembering that we're the ones in control.
Exactly. The future of AI, it's not something that's just happening to us.
Right.
It's something that we're creating.
Together. Okay, that's a really powerful thought. Um, what about the potential for AI to help us understand ourselves better,
Oh, yeah.
the universe around us?
I think AI could completely revolutionize scientific discovery,
Okay.
like expand our knowledge in ways that we can't even imagine right now.
How so?
Imagine AI systems that can analyze, huge amounts of data from telescopes, from particle accelerators,
Right.
finding patterns, insights that we would never be able to see.
So it's like having a superpowered assistant for scientific exploration.
Yeah, exactly.
Helping us to figure out, the mysteries of the universe,
Right.
how our own minds work.
Exactly. I mean, AI could help us unlock new knowledge about, the origins of the universe, the nature of consciousness,
Wow.
the fundamental laws of physics. I mean, the possibilities they're really endless.
Yeah. It's incredibly exciting, but, any powerful tool can be misused.
Of course.
How do we make sure that AI is used responsibly in scientific research?
Well, I think we need to establish, ethical guidelines, oversight mechanisms
Okay.
for all AI research and development.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make sure that AI is being used to advance knowledge, understanding,
Right.
not to create things that are dangerous or unethical.
So balancing the pursuit of knowledge with the responsibility to use that knowledge wisely.
Exactly. And, it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
Right.
It's not a silver bullet.
Yeah.
It can help us, it can amplify our own intelligence or creativity.
That's well said. And, as we wrap up this part of the deep dive,
Yeah.
I think that's a really important message for our listeners.
Yeah.
AI is powerful, but it's up to us to decide how we use it, what kind of future we want to create with it. We've covered a lot of ground in this conversation,
What have?
from the specific trends to, the broader ethical considerations.
It's been fascinating, yeah. Really exploring the world of AI, the potential, the challenges.
I think what's striking me is just how broad the impact of AI could be.
Yeah.
It's not just about, automating tasks or making new gadgets.
Right.
It's really about changing the way we live,
Yeah.
the way we work, learn, how we interact with the world around us.
Yeah, and it's about recognizing that AI isn't some separate thing.
Right.
It's an extension
Yeah.
of us.
Hmm.
Our intelligence, our creativity. The future of AI it's tied to the future of humanity.
I think that's a perfect way to lead into the final part of our deep dive, where
Okay.
we're gonna talk about some of the more personal and societal implications of these AI advancements. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to our deep dive into AI in 2025. We've gone through the big trends, the ethical stuff. Now I want to focus on you, the listener. What does all this AI mean for, your everyday life, your job, your future?
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in all the headlines and the hype, but what really matters is how this impacts people, individuals and society as a whole.
Right. We've talked about like AI composing music, diagnosing diseases, but how about like AI in our daily routines, the way we work, how we learn, how we interact with each other?
Exactly. Think about the skills that'll be really valuable in a world powered by AI.
Mm.
It's not just about, you know, coding or data science.
Yeah.
It's creativity, it's critical thinking, emotional intelligence, being able to learn new things fast, adapt. Those are the things that make us human.
So it's not about trying to compete with AI.
Right.
It's about having the skills that work well with AI, right?
Exactly. And it's about being aware of, the potential downsides, like the spread of fake news through those deep fakes or, privacy being eroded because data collection is getting so advanced.
It sounds like we need to be pretty savvy to handle this AI-powered world,
Yeah.
tech savvy, but also like good critical thinkers, strong ethics. What do you think about AI and jobs?
I think we're going to see a shift, from those repetitive, task-based jobs to more creative, problem-solving roles.
Okay.
AI can handle the boring stuff, which frees us up to focus on, higher-level thinking and innovation.
So we should be excited about AI, not afraid of it. Like it's a tool to make us more productive, more creative.
Exactly.
But what about people losing their jobs? I mean, that's a real fear.
Yeah, it's a valid concern, and we need to address it head on. Invest in education, retraining programs, to help people adapt to the new jobs that are being created. And, we need a safety net for those who are displaced by automation.
So basically, being prepared as individuals, but also as a society. What about education? How could AI change how we learn and teach?
Well, we've talked about AI tutors, right?
Yeah.
But I think it goes way beyond that. Imagine AI that can track your learning, figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, and then it can recommend a learning path that's perfect for you, tailored to your interests and goals.
Wow. So not one size fits all anymore.
Exactly. It's about making education personal, more accessible, engaging for everyone, no matter their background or learning style.
This has been an incredible deep dive into AI. You've given us so much to think about, the tech, the ethics, and now the impact on our lives. As we wrap up, what's the main message you want to leave with our listeners?
The future of AI, it's not set in stone. We're creating it right now with the choices we make, the values we have, the actions we take. It's a future with massive potential and some big challenges. But if we embrace curiosity, critical thinking, and ethical innovation, we can use AI to make the world a better place for everyone.
And to our listeners, as you keep learning about AI, remember, the big questions aren't just about what AI can do, but what we want it to do. How do we make sure it's used for good? Keep asking those questions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.